Good morning. Thank you very much.
Talk to us about In Blood musical. What is it about?
In Blood is a musical, as you have said, that features artists with different kinds of disabilities. It is entitled In Blood because it speaks to the commonality of us all as people, that as artists that are presenting this production are comprised of people with different kinds of disabilities. I've got those that are blind, those that are on calipers, others are using wheelchairs. So we've got this fusion, and In Blood speaks exactly to that we, as different as we are, but we all bleed red blood, and it becomes this theme that makes us a one. So that is where the In Blood is coming at. But most importantly, the production talks about the challenges that people with disability are facing, and also it sort of shows that there is no struggle that can be overcome. The name for our organization, African Sinakho Arts, is actually stands for Against All Feasible Restraints I Can, showing that there is nothing that a person with disabilities cannot do. So when you go and see this musical, what you see on that stage are artists that are as capable as able-bodied artists. And of course, in our cast, we've got members of the cast that are the dancers that you see. Some of them are able-bodied artists. So we've got this fusion which comes out in a very vibrant way. It's one of those things that you don't want to miss. It's a heart-warming theater production. It's something that I am proud to say it is the most fulfilling thing to see people with different kinds of disabilities coming together and doing something so positive. When you see those smiles on that stage, you really know that even if you are feeling sorry for yourself as an able-bodied person, you know that you will come out of the In Blood show with a positive attitude, with having revised your life and knowing that really you look at your challenges differently. If you can see a person whom you expect to be miserable because of her physical condition, but you see that person flying and smiling, and then you have no excuse but to take on anything that life throws at you.
What has putting together this production taught you about yourself and your ability?
It has taught me, one, a lot of humility. It has taught me a lot of patience, to see somebody, things that we often take for granted. Some of my artists just coming to the Playhouse on a daily basis. And on that note, if I can just pause to appreciate what the IDT is doing for us, because it's actually sponsoring our artists to come to the, not necessarily sponsoring, but through their EPW program, our artists are able to every day to go to those rehearsals. But going there, some of them, our rehearsal starts at 4, but some of them have to start, those are on wheelchairs, will start their journey from Umlazi to the Playhouse as early as 2 p.m. so that by 4 they are there. That struggle alone, that every day they are winning those struggles, and they are putting down the excuses that, some taxis will leave you because you are on a wheelchair and you are going to delay, and you get the next and then the next. And then even there, to rely on other people. In Blood has taught me that, you can rely on people, and it has taught me a lot of patience, and it has made me to look at life differently.
When can the public see In Blood? What are the times? What are the ticket? Give us ticket prices.
All right, In Blood started on the 20th of February. We had our preview. It was packed. Yesterday we had a matinee from 2 to 4 where we had a school's performance. Today is our opening night at 7 from 7 at the Playhouse. The tickets are available at CompuTicket. It's one of those shows that you don't want to miss. It's going on at the Playhouse. It is done in association with the Playhouse. Like you said, it's funded by the lottery. It is something that you really do not want to miss. Last performance we are doing tomorrow, a matinee from 2 to 4. Our tickets are selling at 120 rands, but we've got a concession for group bookings of 10 people or more, which is sitting at 60 rands.
Talk to us about the challenges that came with putting together this production.
There are lots of challenges, of course. First of all, the logistics of it all is quite, and getting, a sustainable, because for a long time, we have been working with this group tirelessly from 2006 up to date, and it has been a journey. Departments have been coming in and out. At first, it took a long time for departments to understand, to be able to put us, because we are not doing something that you have seen before, where you've got different kinds. Disability is always, segregated. You find blind people working together under a blind society, or quadriplegics under a quadriplegic. So this one was a little bit new to them, but we appreciate how the Department of Social Development, how the National Departments of Arts and Culture, your Department of Rural Development have come in from time to time to try and assist us. But the challenge really has been there are no programs that are like this that have come before. So it has always been how do they assist us, because they have never done this before. So that has delayed us. We had wanted to kickstart this national tour. The Playhouse production of In Blood is actually a continuation of a national tour that we are doing, but it has taken longer than we had planned. But we are also grateful for the mileage that we've had so far from our provincial government, from our national government. But at the same time, I don't want to lie to you, it has been difficult for us to find sustainable funding or sustainable backup. But we have determined ourselves as African Sinakho that whatever little we are going to get, we are making maximum of it. And tonight's show is really about that. It's really taking what we are getting from the Playhouse, from the National Lottery, from the IDT, and some people that are putting help together, that are helping us, like your Ilovos. There are so many people that are really putting in, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the province, to thank national government for supporting us from time to time, and also we are still appealing further to say that we would really appreciate a standing support. But so far we are grateful for the support that we are getting. We are grateful to the KZN. We are grateful to South Africa in general. But I don't want to lie to you. It is a challenge. It is a daily challenge, but a challenge that we are willing to look at.
What, in your opinion, can be done, though, to start promoting and putting more awareness around artists with disabilities in the sector?
This is a step forward. It's doing things like this, because if we had set when we planned this, myself and Dileka Sandi, if we had set in 2006 when we came with an idea and said we will wait until there is a fund, there are funders that will start supporting us, we would not be where we are today. We started and we went for 7 years straight without any support. I remember before we could get a yes from the lottery, it has been at least 4 years straight going without failing. Every day those artists have been coming from a group of 17 people. To date, we have 300 heads that are coming on a daily basis at the Playhouse, and they have never for a single day doubted that someday we will get somewhere. We are not there yet, but whatever we are getting, we are really making a maximum use of it, and that is our attitude. The more can be done, but what our attitude is that we are determined to make a success of disabled artists. We want to create a generation of young people that cannot be intimidated by lack of resources. Already, we as a South Africa that is free, we cannot sit now that opportunities are there. We cannot sit and wait for opportunities to come our way. So that is what we are trying to do with our disabled artists, to create a generation of young people that will not be pulled down down by excuses like there are no funds and we can't. Many sponsors have been saying this. How are you going to sustain this? The truth is we do not know. We do not know how we are going to get to our next venue, but I'm announcing right now that next year in April will be in Bloemfontein. We do not know how and how we are going to get there, but it's how we have been moving from theatre to theatre, from States Theatre the previous year, Artscape, and with every venue, we have not always been sure of where and how the funding is going to come from, but we are determined, and that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to create a generation of young people that is not going to wait for government to create opportunities for them. That is going to be out there and say, I am here, and then people will come in and they are going to make their mark. People with disabilities, artists with disabilities are going to make their mark, and they are going to be heard, whether people support them or not.
Bukelwa, thank you so much for talking to us. Bukelwa Cakata, who is the artistic director of the Play in Blood, and it's a disability theatre production at the Playhouse. Now, let's say